talk about the Foxbody tonight. Get everybody up to speed on where we're at on this project, what the goal is with this project, what the goal is with this channel. I kind of am starting in the middle of this car. You know, this car showed up and had already been cut up by somebody else. We'll kind of talk about that. I kind of decide what to do with the rear end and, you know, the direction of the car. But I think we got it pretty much lined out. So we're gonna jump right in pretty much. And I'm interested to see what you guys think about the car and what you want to see more of. I know these channels are all kind of similar, but you know, every project's different, every builder's different. So yeah, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, this is the first long form video I'm going to do, so should be more to come. But yeah, this thing's going to be sweet. I'm excited about it. So take a look at it, check it out. Let me know what you think. All right, so real quick, let's talk about where the car came from. Got it from a buddy. It was sitting in a barn. It was, you know, kept out of the weather, so it's a pretty straight chassis. There's really no rust. A couple spots on the floorboards, but nothing super crazy. A lot of body work's been done. The fenders are ready to paint. The doors, which are, we took them off to do the cage, they're ready to paint. The rear was cut out already. Somebody had kind of done some bars coming off the rear frame rails, but they didn't do them really the way I wanted them. So I'd always planned to do the rear frame rails like that. Not technically a stock rear frame rail, but it is kind of in the stock position, so we'll see how that goes. Not too worried about it, but I wanted to tie these rear down bars of the cage into the frame rails, and I just kind of planned it out to be lining up like that. So I'm happy with it, happy how it came out. It definitely came out better than I anticipated. So rear end is a Battle Ready 8.8 from Tin Soldiers. That was kind of the first fab project that I did for something other than exhaust. That kit's really nice. Those guys really know what they're doing down there in Kentucky. I'm in Indiana, so they're from Kentucky. They're lower, but the Tin Soldier guys really know what they're doing, and their kit, it reflects that. It's because it was pretty easy to put together. So this kit was really relatively easy. I did the 9-inch ends, the big Ford 9-inch ends. Just gives you a better option for axles. You don't have to do the C-clip eliminator that way, and it's way better. So that's the route I went. I would, you know, suggest you guys, if you got Mustangs, to check this kit out. And I encourage you to do it yourself. You know, you got a welder, do it yourself. I had to borrow the bar that you run down the middle with the pucks you put in there, and it basically keeps everything straight. These will warp. They're known for warping. You get too much heat in them, they'll bend. So one thing to be mindful of. But yeah, this kit's really sweet. We got some blanks in there holding this up for now before I decide what rear shocks I'm going with. Haven't decided. So I want to preface something. You know, this is the first car that I have decided to build on my own. We've done other cars. Obviously, the M3 has been turboed. We did the turbo kit. We did the exhaust. But a lot of that was bolt-on. So this is the first car that I'm doing all the fab work on. So I did a lot of kits, 80% kits. The cage is an 80% kit, so they get you 80% of the way there, and then you just have to basically clean it up and weld it into the car. The front end kit is a Team Z. So again, you get the pieces. They've already notched it, they've bent it, and you just basically fit it up, fit your fenders up, fit your front bumper up, and then weld it all in. So I liked that better because my thinking behind it was that I've never done this before, so I don't know what it's supposed to look like. I don't know how it's supposed to sit, where it's supposed to go. So this gives me an idea of where everything's supposed to be, where the cage is supposed to be, where the bars are supposed to land, where the dash bar is supposed to be, things like that. So it was easier for me to learn with somebody else getting me, 80% of the way there. So the goal obviously eventually is to do a full tube chassis car. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Do the notching, do the bending, everything, but I'm not there yet. So I wanted to learn on this. This is a chromoly cage too, so I had to be all TIG welded, which I prefer to do, but that was just the way for me right now. So, all right, like I said, cage kit, they get you 80% of the way there. They laser notch it. They put the, they bend the tubes for you, so it shows up on a pallet. It's pretty sweet. They give you the plates and everything, and so you can kind of fit it all in there, get it all lined up, and then, tack it in and then weld it in. And I really like that better. It would be really difficult to build the first cage. And I'm not saying guys don't do it. Guys definitely do it. There's some really talented dudes out there that jump right in. But you don't have to, You can do stuff like this. You can start with a kit that's got some things already done for you. And that's really the way I like to do it. All right, so up in the front, we got a Team Z tubular front end kit. This kit is just like the cage kit, pre-bent, pre-notched, it's chromoly, it comes with all the pieces, all the tabs. You just gotta sit it up there, tack it in. We ran a center line down the center of the car and then ran a center line down the center of these tubes and then just lined them up, tacked them in. The only thing that was hard, well, I shouldn't say that. This was still a challenge, of course. But these outside bars, you really have to make sure you get them set right because you don't really want to see them, or at least I didn't want to see them when I was standing up here. I kind of wanted them to be tucked up underneath that fender. But you had to have that anyway because those tabs that are securing your fender, that's where they needed to go. So that took a couple times moving things around. Unfortunately, didn't film it. I wasn't filming yet when I started doing this. Like I said, I'm kind of jumping in the middle of this. So back here, the back of the car, we're currently working on the tubs. Those are Team Z mini tubs as well. Did not do them the way that they had them set up. Pretty similar, but I didn't have to cut the frame and box it back in because of the way I did these frame rails. So I didn't have to cut off a whole lot, which is nice. It worked out well. But that one's tacked in. This one still needs to be fit up. It's a little too tight over here. We're gonna have to trim that up a little bit. But again, they ship them flat. You put them together, you roll the bead over, and it's all good. Again, I would recommend these if you're gonna put a lot of tire under these cars. I'm gonna run a 28-10-5 on this car, and I want to be able to sit the car down a little bit on the tire. So yeah, that's what we chose to go with. And you can see it'll give you more than enough room to tuck a small tire up in there. But yeah, this is gonna be a small tire car, stick shift car. So the goal of the car really is to learn as much as I can. Like I said, this is the first time I've done a project like this. I'm not a trained welder. I've had no kind of welding experience other than my hobbies. Built some motorcycles, built some exhaust and little side projects like that. The M3 that you see in the background is actually the car that started it all. Had a buddy of mine, Eric, at Lightspeed and Fab. He did the exhaust on that car. We cut it up and mocked it up. I mocked it up with welding wire and painter's tape. And then I would take it to Eric and he would weld it all together. And went over there one day and he was like, "You want to learn to weld?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's try it out." And pretty much it was just all good things from there. So took on welding, but again, really just YouTube videos and how-tos, watching, seeing how other people did it. And I'm still improving. I'm getting better every time I work on something like this. But the goal is to continue to get better and better. But I don't do this for a living. So I'll give, advice where I can, but I'm really on here to learn. I'm here to learn with you guys, but also to inspire, hopefully, the guys that are sitting out there thinking, "Man, I don't know if I can do that or not," to, jump in there and get after it, because you can do it. It's just something you have to do over and over again to learn and to get comfortable with it, and you have to be okay with making mistakes. We mess stuff up on this thing all the time. I say we, my brother he's been helping me a lot on this car. He's really good about fitting things up and mocking things up, and then I come back in and weld it. So my goal of this channel is to share the journey. I think it'll be cool to be able to look back on the early days of this build, and then when it's done, you know, what it is, what it becomes. But I also want to inspire the guy that's sitting on the couch thinking, man, I wish I had a race car, I wish I had this or that, to just go buy the welder, go buy a TIG welder. I use all Everlast equipment. I really like Everlast. It's a great all level equipment. A lot of big names are using Everlast now. And you don't really, you don't need to go out and get the Miller. Great machines, obviously, but the price point, you're gonna feel that. Yeah, that's the goal, inspire people to go finish that project car, but also to learn with everybody else along the way, and to show you that you don't have to have it all figured out to start. Just jump in and get after it. So that's the goal with this car. The plan for the car itself is a stick shift car, small tire car. Alrighty, let's talk about the goals for the car. Obviously, we need a motor and transmission. Gonna do at the moment, I'm gonna do a T56 Magnum manual transmission. And Shavley Speed Machine in Kentucky is building a 408 stroker small block Ford. Probably going to be a pretty high compression motor in a solid roller motor. I want to be able to rev it. So yeah, stick shift car, 2810-5 small tire slick. But again, never been down the track. I have a lot to learn. I got to learn how to leave on a clutch. I got to learn how to drive a car with slicks. That's going to be a whole different ball game. So I'm excited. I'm excited to learn that. I'm excited to take that on. I just think it's going to be, it's going to be a rocket ship, hopefully. I'm going to try to get the car pretty light, but again, I don't really know what to expect because this is the first time doing this whole thing. So it's all kind of a mystery, but I really am excited to get this thing done, and I'm excited to share it with my friends and, all of you guys. So yeah, subscribe, jump on the channel, go to Instagram. I post stuff there a lot too. We're gonna keep up with this stuff. I encourage you to start your project cars, send me pictures of them. Let's connect, let's motivate each other to get out in the garage at least for an hour and work on stuff. I know that sometimes it gets tough and you just don't wanna do it, but you won't make progress if you don't work on it. So yeah, that's the goal, and until next time, we'll see you guys. Thanks.